Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. New testimony is shedding light on the fatal stabbing of a 27-year-old man in Agios Dimitrios, identified as the son of a senior police officer. The 20-year-old suspect, who has confessed to the killing, is expected to testify before an investigating magistrate on Tuesday. According to the investigation, the two men arranged to meet at Asirmatos Park to settle personal differences. Authorities say the suspect arrived armed with a knife and, during the encounter, stabbed the victim in the chest, causing a fatal wound. He then fled the scene and took steps to conceal his actions, including changing clothes, hiding the weapon, and switching vehicles. New video evidence appears to contradict his initial statement about how he traveled to the meeting. Witnesses told investigators the suspect later described the incident, saying he lost control during the confrontation. In his statement, the suspect expressed remorse, saying he did not intend to kill the victim. Testimony from his former partner also points to a history of aggressive behavior. The three additional individuals accused of assisting him after the crime are expected to stand trial today. The trial over the Tembe train disaster resumes today at the Criminal Court of Appeal in Larissa, 20 days after its last session. Today's hearing is expected to conclude the process of formally declaring support for the prosecution. Attention is focused on representatives of the Greek state, who are expected to explain their decision to support the prosecution alongside victims' families and legal associations. At the previous session, state lawyers announced their intention to take this position, a move that drew significant attention. Following the case, defense teams representing the 36 defendants are expected to raise objections regarding participation in the proceedings. Judges will then rule on these objections before allowing further submissions. Relatives of victims and survivors are present in court, while many defendants continue to be represented by their lawyers. The stage remains procedural, but it is considered critical before the trial moves forward to witness testimony. The proceedings are expected to be lengthy, with hundreds of witnesses set to testify in the coming months. A 21 British soldier remains in critical condition after a quad bike accident on the island of Rhodes. The incident occurred on the evening of April 15th when the man lost control of a rented quad bike and collided with a utility pole near his hotel. He was on holiday with his girlfriend, who said she heard the sound of tires and a heavy impact before going out to find him. She discovered him lying on the ground next to the overturned vehicle, unresponsive and struggling to breathe. Emergency services were called and paramedics arrived within minutes. He was taken to hospital before being airlifted to Crete for further treatment. Doctors say he suffered traumatic brain injuries and multiple fractures. He's now being treated in an intensive care unit and remains in a medically induced coma. His condition is described as critical as medical teams prepare to attempt to bring him out of the coma. Two men have been hospitalized following an attack in a public park on Philopapos Hill. The incident took place on Sunday morning when a man approached the victims, aged 59 and 60, as they were walking along a path inside the park. According to one of the victims, the suspect struck both men from behind using a collapsible metal object. Both men sustained injuries and were taken to hospital, with one requiring stitches to his cheek. Authorities say the attack may be connected to a previous confrontation between the three around Christmas. At that time, the two men had reportedly confronted the suspect about his dogs, saying that he did not clean up after them. The suspect is said to have verbally abused them during that earlier encounter. On Sunday, he recognized the two men and carried out the assault. The altercation continued onto a nearby road before the suspect fled the scene. Panic broke out aboard the passenger ferry Nissos Samos after a cigarette triggered the vessel's fire detection system. The incident occurred during a scheduled route from Piraeus to Chios and Lesvos when a group of passengers lit a cigarette inside an enclosed waiting area. The smoke activated the ship's fire safety system, causing sprinklers to release water across parts of the vessel. Passengers and crews initially believed there was a fire on board, leading to confusion. As alarms sounded, people moved towards exits, creating crowding and escape routes before the situation was clarified. The incident caused material damage, including to passengers' electronic devices and parts of the ship's interior. No injuries were reported. Despite the damage, no arrests were made. These were the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Thank you for watching.